Oh, here we are. I don't think I'm going to eat all of this on camera. I just wanted to get all that was left. Blackbird just took a piece just to try it and pretty much immediately threw it away. It's still good. There's no mold, and it still felt pretty soft when I was pulling the slices apart. Yeah, so I am going to douse it as I go, I guess. I don't know, I'm just worried some of you thought might have been cheating in the other one. But, I should have cleared some room first, pardon me. But, right off the get-go, remember how I said the Scooby-Doo movie I did for the other Punishment was good overall, just boring in a few places, actually was pretty hilarious at times. That was not this movie. This was the opposite. This movie was mostly boring, and yeah, I got more than one laugh out of it. Most of them intentional. Wait till you... God. But most, I was just so freaking bored. So, I'm gonna try to go to order. I'm turning my speakers off so y'all don't hear Discord. Apparently one of my chat threads is active right now. I guess I could try to go to order, but like right off the get-go, this movie takes place mostly in WWE City. There is an entire city dedicated to it now. And as we later see, Vince has carved the WWE title into the side of a mountain in this city. And it's a legit city. Like, at first I thought, oh, like that's just what they call their theme park. No, it has restaurants, it has houses, hotels. I mean, I know Disney World's pretty elaborate, but no, they were clearly going for a city, which to a point I will try to get to later. Don't think I gave the hot sauce enough time to soak into it, because it blew like when I did the fruitcake punishment itself. I'm just getting a bunch of different flavors. I'm gonna try to go in order, but there's so much stupid. So yeah, Kane's walking down the road. He runs into the Miz, who's out jogging. Miz gives some fairly decent exposition. It's like, okay, I never thought we'd see you again after the decision got overturned and you lost your title. And Kane is really scared of Miz, but eventually runs away. One of the funny bits I thought, Miz listens to his own theme while jogging, which not only fits the cartoon exaggerated version we've seen both here and the other movie, I could see the character we see on WWE TV doing that. But I thought it was pretty funny. Then Miz runs into a big scary monster bear, which I will say the bear is really cool looking. He gets attacked by the bear. One moment I realized, okay, even for a cartoon, this doesn't work. Of course, Miz tries to wrestle the bear, and the bear pushes him down, and Miz's knee hits the road, and the concrete cracks. If this were a superhero movie, okay, fine, whatever. The Miz's knee should be shattered. Granted, we barely see Miz through the rest of the movie. When we do, he's all bandaged the hell up, so I don't know. That was the cold open. I don't know if that applies for movies. WWE City. After the opening credits, we get Shaggy and Scooby playing some kind of weird motion capture video game. Because we never see any controls, but apparently it imitates their moves. Because Scooby is playing Sin and he wins by jumping off the couch, doing a wrestling move, and that's what Sin Cara does in the game to beat Shaggy as John Cena. So it's a game. And since they beat it, and they gave it this ridiculous title, another intentional laugh, but since they beat the game on the highest possible level, and then Scooby does the victory dance, which again, motion capture, and gets that perfectly, they win a trip to WWE City to see WrestleMania. This is where the first bit where the thing is stupid. Maybe it said how many people you can bring. This is part of the ADD problem. I'm talking about the movie. I'm legit forgetting I have to eat this thing. But yeah, maybe I didn't hear it in the video game said how many they could bring, but the next scene is them Scooby and Shaggy trying to guilt the rest of the gang to take them to WrestleMania, and I don't understand why. Other than, we need the whole crew. Got a phone call in the middle of that. Sorry about that. So far, this isn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. Still don't like this movie, though. One of the movies where the movie is intentionally funny, and Fred, Velma, and Daphne aren't interested in going. Especially Daphne. But then, Shaggy drops a literal stack of photos of all the times they've been used as bait to catch the creepy men in masks. And okay, yeah, that was funny, so they agree. And again, occasionally this movie is self-aware, which I dug. They drive to WWE City, and there's a joke because Shaggy and Scooby packed the mystery machine so full of food they forgot the luggage, and then after the other three get upset at them, and Shaggy's like, "Well, we wear the same outfits every day. What does it matter?" And everyone just doesn't know how to react to that. Velma even sort of looks at her sweater. But yeah, what I was getting to before the phone call interrupted my recording. There's no reason why the rest of the team had to be there other than, okay, we need the rest of the team there. Shaggy just couldn't say, let me borrow the mystery machine for a weekend. But no, I have to beg you to come with us. They run into John Cena, who's out for a jog. The two original characters for this movie who just give the most awkward exposition ever, basically explaining because of the crazy bear. They have to. WWE superstars aren't supposed to go jogging alone. Perfectly reasonable. The dialogue was just so freaking awkward. Oh, and the mystery machine got run off the road, which leads to peak Super Cena moment, in my opinion. Super Cena is like, well, these kids are stuck, let's help them. Pulls off his shirt. Suddenly Daphne is very interested in wrestling. And just lifts the mystery machine out of the ditch, no problem. Raccoon steals some Scooby snacks, so Shaggy and Scooby chase it, and we get to see suspect number 1. Crazy old hillbilly. They give him a name, but crazy hillbilly doesn't like WWE City encroaching on his land. Rawr. Then they make it to WWE City, and we get to see it's an actual city. To make it up to them, Cena gives everyone live tickets to the show that's going on I guess it's WWE City. There's got to be live shows going on all the time. But he just happened to have those, cartoon logic. At least to a bit where I think Bailey's in this. Because we see some wrestling, and AJ Lee is the only named woman superstar in this, and God, Vince has brainwashed me. I'm starting to call them superstars instead of wrestlers. And she's the only one who provides her own voice. But so we see a quick clip of her wrestling, and this came out in 2013. So, There's woman, basically looks like Bailey's ring gear, ponytail, the old ring gear, pre-heel turn. So, I got a kick out of that, and again, specific details are just muddling together at this point. Okay, yeah, I can't remember the exact timeline at this point, so I'm going to give up talking about it in order. Yeah, this one, they're soaked in. We'll even do a little bit of that. I'm actually thinking, like, maybe possibly the fruitcake aged, because it tastes better than I remember it for that video. But then the hot sauce hits. That's just a bunch of nope. So then we get on, again, I'm not going to get the specific order right, but Vince makes a huge deal about the WWE title. The way he talks about it, it's like a sacred artifact from a D&D campaign, which makes me think Vince wrote this part himself. Michael Cole's in this. In the end credits, he gets billing above some of the actual wrestlers. And so, to my surprise, he's probably the worst voice actor in this. I mean, some of the wrestlers are like, okay, but when you think about it, voice acting is Michael Cole's job. So it's weird that he's so bad at it. I mean, he's better towards the end when he's doing the play-by-play for that match, but... And again, joke at one point... Oh yeah, Sin Cara and John Cena are in a tag team match against Big Show and that asshole Paige used to date who beat her. And this is the first indication of something this movie does that the other one didn't. We see a lot of, okay, this is obviously supposed to be this important character, like Sergeant Slaughter or Jerry the King Lawler, but we don't hear them. Like, Big Show and the asshole never talk. And that's just funny to me, because that means, oh, the actual Big Show's busy taking over the future. If you get it, you get it. And so during the match, Big Show shows up with a picnic table. But Michael Kogo even goes, where did he get a picnic table? When someone eventually goes through his announce table, we hear Michael Cole. And again, while the line was funny, it was probably the worst delivery. Michael goes, that was my favorite table. So again, occasionally this movie is intentionally funny. The fruitcake is very dense. I just don't know if I can eat all of this. I got 3 more pieces that are actively have hot sauce on them. So I'll eat those at least. So, a big to-do is made about the WWE title. It, of course, gets stolen. And Scooby is framed due to some nonsense with hypnosis. So this is one of the first parts where, this is where I literally had to pause the movie, because what? Some woman, I don't recognize her name, I don't recognize her voice actor. She might be an original character created for the movie, but she's she's in charge of security, I think. I don't know. She's some big to-do. Everyone answers to her, she only answers to Vince in the movie. So, the gang and other wrestlers provide some, exposition explaining, the video game they were playing earlier hypnotized Scooby into stealing the belt. And the woman's like, I don't care. The belt was stolen. He has it. He's going to jail. And because it was Shaggy's game, he's an accomplice and he's going to jail too. So Vince comes in, oh, actually, there is a law in WWE City. So that is where I paused. That's where I started to pause. But I don't pause before I hear the second part of that. I can't remember the exact wording, but basically, if they beat another wrestler in the ring, the charges will be dropped. And this is one of those realities, or whatever you want to call it, where wrestling's real. You know, it's not scripted, so it's going to be a real fight. And then we get a bit of dialogue I don't get from Vince saying the only competitor I have left, which is weird because John Cena and Sin Cara are right there. I want to say they were talking about how Vince, or how The Miz got beat up, but he's the only one who gets beat up, and later we get a training montage with AJ Lee. So the only competitor he has left is Kane. So of course Scooby and Shaggy do their "Oh, I'm so scared" bit. One of the original characters introduced in this movie is Cookie. He is a trainer for the WWE. We get that's the impetus for the training montage with AJ Lee as they're trying to train Scooby and Shaggy so they will survive their match with Kane. The joke throughout it is not. It's occasionally done in an actually funny way. The gang explores a cave. Suspect number one, the hillbilly's there. He's like, they fell into another trap, and this one I didn't set. Maybe that should have been the first clue. It wasn't him. Spoiler. Again, yeah, the mystery got me. Unlike the Triple H and Stephanie one from the last movie, though, there was at least one hint for this one that I just didn't think anything of at the time. But anyway, they explore these caves. They find evidence about hypnotic suggestion and whatnot. Bear shows up. Cena fights the bear, gets immediately knocked out. Fred escapes by triggering some kind of water explosion. Okay, that time was because my phone ran out of room, and while I was waiting to copy the videos out, that's how I started to hit the stomach, so, whew. But yeah, Fred causes some kind of water explosion, suddenly the area's flooding, and John Cena sleeps through the whole thing. Scooby and Shaggy use him as a raft. Eventually he wakes up, they escape. This brings me to one of the other things I thought was really weird about this movie, is the use of Sin Cara. Like, in the trailers and everything, he's one of the ones that make a big deal about being in it. He's in it just as much as Cena. But he doesn't talk. And Sin Cara doesn't talk at all in this, which I thought was weird. Now I know in the real world of WWE, there were two people in the suit. I've only seen one of them. At least two, I don't know if there's more. And he talked fine, he did promos and everything. So was this something they tried to do with the first one? And then even if it is, why would you make a big deal about I mean, they don't have to pay a voice actor that way, but still, it just seems like in a cartoon where the only point of a wrestler making a big deal about a wrestler being in here is so you would hear their voice, they make him mute. But it leads to some of the more intentionally funny moments, like when they first bring up that, how can he, because he's the exposition for the Legend of the Ghost Bear. That Fred asks, how's he going to help us if he doesn't even talk? And Cena says, he doesn't need to. I speak Mac the Luchador. And Fred just sort of gives him the side eye. Like, seriously? So, again, occasionally it is intentionally funny. But yeah, the Ghost Bear was a wrestling bear, undefeated, until Sin Cara's great-great-granddad beat it. And then it wandered off, never to be seen again after almost killing a bunch of people. They say Sin Cara's granddad beat it on this very spot, but they're on a roof when they say that? Eventually, WrestleMania happens, and Dead Meat and Thin Man or Skinny Man, I don't remember which, are the opening act. Versus Kane is the opening act of WrestleMania itself. Not good. Ugh. And so at some point, the gang figured out whoever was doing whatever it is they're doing was going to use it. Oh yeah, they found blueprints for an EMP in the cave that they flooded. Fred took a bunch of pictures of the evidence. When area flooded, Shaggy freaked out. It's like, you destroyed the evidence. Don't worry, I have the camera. And the bear immediately came up and ate his camera. Kind of funny, I guess. So, and this is the second thing. Like, I wanted to blurt this out as soon as I started recording. Blackbird probably heard me shout out the movie at this point. Velma eventually figures out that the EMP is on the WWE title. Part of how she proves this is she uses a magnet to move the WWE title in its ridiculous sci-fi yet clear safe. She uses a magnet that Sin Cara provides because luchadors are always prepared. Again, intentionally funny. Oh. And the moves, proving that the title is magnetic, because it's made of iron instead of gold. I don't know what the actual title is made out of, but Vince makes a point to say we forged this in gold and jewels or whatever. So if it wasn't, if gold is magnetic, iron is. Gold isn't magnetic, iron is. Sorry. So this proves that it's a fake. They've had a fake from the get-go. Okay? And Velma's insisting that the EMP is on the belt. I'm expecting they're going to move like the main panel, one of the side plates, and it'll be this weird device. No. They turned the belt over, and sitting just right there in plain sight for everyone to see is a device that looks like a bomb, and it is counting down to 30 seconds. What? Like, I know it's a cartoon, but there is a limit to what you can get away with, okay? That is bugging the ever-living crap out of me that no one noticed this the entire fucking time. As you can tell by how animated I got there, it's still bugging me. Ugh, so gross. That one had a lot of hot sauce on it. Another thing that, this one didn't bother me as much, but it was still stupid. They're in the plan to get the bear, trap the bear. Fred keeps saying plan A, plan B. And then I realized, no, his plans aren't getting messed up. This is the second, third, etc. phase of the same plan. So what he should be saying is part A or part C. Again, stupid, but just it's very confusing and annoying. But yeah, shenanigans happen. They get rid of the MP. They get the demon bear in the ring with Kane, Sin Cara, Cena, the other OC they introduced, Cookie's nephew who wanted just to be a wrestler and his uncle wouldn't let him. And Shaggy and Scooby are in there. So it takes all five of them to pin the bear. They defeat the bear, and it's Cookie! Again, it surprised me. I was actually betting on the hillbilly for a bit. And his whole thing is he used to be a WWE superstar, but he got permanently injured. He never got to be champion, and this started to resent him, and the resentment grew to hatred as he started to be one of the trainers. So he built a bear mech suit and hypnotized Scooby and blah, 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 blah. And, the proof in the pudding is, where's the title? Well, he's wearing it, of course. And they arrest him. Ruben is the nephew's name. He's offered a job as both a computer guy and or an actual wrestler. So yeah, that's the movie. More than anything, it was fucking boring. I wanted it to be over. I had to pause at one point to go to the bathroom, and there were still 20 minutes left, and I literally said, oh god, there's still 20 minutes left. Occasionally funny, I wouldn't mind rewatching the Road Speed Demon Weird Racing one, because that one was just so ridiculous and legitimately hilarious. I could pull out my phone during the parts I found boring. This one just, it was so hard not to pull my phone out. Okay, bunch of spillover. Gonna wipe this piece in it. I started fiddling with some toys I have during my desk. One actual funny joke I thought going on the whole we wear the same uniforms. One of the running gags throughout it is Daphne's thirsty for John Cena. So at one point she asks Velma, which one should I wear when I meet John next? And she holds up two identical green scarves. And Velma even asks, are you serious? That's almost word for word the line. When we see WrestleMania, we see various people watching the TV, and I don't remember if I brought this up in the Speed Demon review. This might not even happen in the Speed Demon review. I can't remember. But there are 4 girls watching it, and they have very specific designs. We see other people and they're generic enough, so they're like, okay, these are people. But these other designs just seem really specific and detailed. And at least 2 of them look like the civilian identities of the girls from Young Justice. And I want to say this is the second movie they did this in, or maybe I saw part of this one too. But yeah, that was weird. But no matter what way you slice it, man, pun not intended, this movie just sucked. It was so boring. Got to laugh every once in a while, but I wanted it to be done. It was more annoying for me than this actual part, because I drink some milk and I'm good. This just dragged. I wasted a good chunk of my day on this. Oh yeah, and this is my idea, so I really don't have anyone to blame but myself. But yeah, here's finally the WrestleMania Punishment. Hope it was entertaining. Look into this movie if you want. I recommend the Speed Demon one. I don't recommend speaking of the Speed Demon one, this is one that part of what confused me. It's Scooby-Doo and the Curse of the Speed Demon. Undertaker knew Scooby and Shaggy, which made them being afraid of him even dumber in my opinion. But he even calls them Skinny Man and Dead Meat. Undertaker's not in this at all. And so, is there a third, specifically Scooby-Doo and WWE crossover? Because I know they crossed over with the Jensens, and I want to say the Flintstones too, but I don't know. That one was fun. This one was stupid. So stupid. I got 3 pieces of this to eat, but I'm out of movie to talk about. Maybe I'll eat them later. I don't know. I'm actually feeling kind of full. Or maybe my stomach's upset because of the hot sauce. Yeah. I hope that was entertaining. Bye.